Alright, now let's talk about the moon. Let's talk about the moon now. The moon exaltation is in Taurus. This is the highest ability of the moon. The moon fall is in Scorpio. The moon rulership, which when it feels at home, is in Cancer. And when it's away and it feels uncomfortable, it's in Capricorn. So the rise is Taurus. The fall is Scorpio. That mean if the earth was right from an earth perspective, if the earth right here, the moon, the highest aspect of the moon going to be right here. And I know people want to ask, like, how come in the morning when I see the moon is right there, but at night it'd be right there, but y'all still want to say that the moon is in Libra or whatever the moon is at. Here's why. The actual earth itself has qualities and we're going to get to that too, and it has an axis. And it spins and rotates on its axis also. So when it spins on its axis, say you're in America, and in the morning America is right here on Earth, and then by nighttime America may be right here, right? It may be on this side now, right? So the moon is still in that part of the sky. So say the moon is in Taurus, high from an Earth perspective, it's in the highest it can be, highest expectation it can be. When the Earth spin on its axis, to us, you spin with it. So when the moon was right there, it's going to appear that it's on the other side of Earth at night because we're done spinning. But actually, the moon is still in that area of the sky. It's just the way we spent, we can't see that area of the sky the same way we seen it because the Earth spin. You know what I'm saying? So that knocked that out of the book. That's just for dumb people right there. I don't even, people who watch my videos already know that. I don't even know why I even explained that though. But look, the moon, all right, exaltation. Now, what's the moon? What's the moon? The moon is anything that comes under reaction. Now, we could talk about a little bit of the yang a little bit. A little bit of the yang. A little bit of the moon. Since it's out of position it's in, we don't see the other side of the moon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the moon has menstrual cycles. The moon, full moons are when the moon is full. And the moon gets full in a Pacific sign at different times. You know what I'm saying? So when it eats, which is waning, and waxing, no, when it eats, when it's waxing, it eats, and when when it waxing, it's shitting, and when it's waning, it's eating. So it's like when it's shit, it's skinny again, and it eats all through the month until it comes to the opposite sign, actually shit it in. And it becomes full again. You know what I'm saying? And it does this every month. And from the most lamest terms is your mother, if you're a human. And what happens is it creates menstrual cycles. So everything has a menstrual cycles. Male, female, everything. It's just more apparent in the females because they bleed, and it's more but they bleed more to the clock astrology. I'm gonna get into that. It's just a lower form of the bigger scale. It's a smaller scale to the bigger scale. The bigger scale is the mother, the moon, and the moon deals with your emotions, and the motions, and yang, the lamest yang terms, emotions. What's motions on Earth? Motions is water flow. That's a motion. Frequencies and tranquilities of time. That's the motions. Like Saturn controls time. And the relationship it has with the moon is the frequency it gives off, the frequency wave it gives off. So Saturn is doing the time, and the moon is creating the illusion of the frequency vibrate, the frequency wave of the time. So by the time time travels to Earth, it gets illusionized into the illusion of the moon, of the frequency wave, and then that's how we see the time. We see the time as a frequency wave, and we've been doing it so long to the point that we start seeing time as linear. We start seeing the lunar goddess as linear, and time isn't linear. Time is a vortex. It's not straight line. See, but that's the illusion that it'll create. But Saturn taught us that it's a ring. It's a ring, which is a vortex. You know what I'm saying? And the moon and Saturn has came from the same rotation source. Like, it's all these rotations came from different aspects, and different energy beings, different. So say I got some dice in my hand, right? Say I throw 2 dice. That's the sun and the moon, right? They got their own rotation, right? Now, a couple seconds later, the world is different. We're in a different vortex, different vibration, different frequency ever. Just a couple seconds later. The way I shake up the dice is going to be different in everything. It's different. Now, the way I throw this dice, say that's Saturn and the moon, it's going to have a different rotation than it's going to have a different rotation than the sun. Than the sun and Mercury. Say the first dice I rolled was the sun and Mercury. Boom. Then the second 2 dice I rolled was the moon and Saturn. Boom. It's going to be a different rotations. Like the dice that came out first might went out faster than the second dice that went, then one might have went that way. Okay, now the smaller you is, the slower these objects going to appear. You know what I'm saying? That's why it appeared to, as humans on Earth, it appears that the planet's moving slow. But where I'm from, they're actually moving so fast, it's like, it's not even the speed of light anymore. It's a different kind of frequency, different kind of sphere of reality. You know what I'm saying? But for on Earth, I'm going to have to explain it to y'all like this way. The sun was through by itself. It wasn't through by itself, but it's in a rotation of a bunch of shit that y'all not even consciously aware of yet, because it is no light shining on there. So you don't even know what to think of to start to even think about this world, because there's no light on these objects. But I can shed a little bit of it because I'm not from here. There's a rotation pattern of 14 suns. It's 14 different suns that went out from one hand at the same time, and they started their own rotation. One of the suns is Sirius. Sirius is a sun, and if you look up in the sky, all the star systems and constellation it has forms a dog, just like the Milky Way. The Milky Way forms a snake in a way. Sirius forms a dog in a way, but the initial central aspect of these galaxies are, well, not galaxies. Milky Way is a galaxy. The Sirius is a solar system. So sorry about that. I ain't mean to mix up. Milky Way doesn't look like a snake. Our solar system looks like a snake. You know what I'm saying? And a solar system is just a small place in a galaxy. We are in the Milky Way galaxy. This sun right here is a solar system. The Sirius has its own solar system. What's a solar? Solar is a sun. Lunar is the moon. Solar is the sun. Lunar is the moon. So this solar system that we in is this sun's rotation system. Sirius has their own planetary circulation system. Has their own solar system, but the source of it is the sun. Sirius is a sun. This solar system is a sun. Now the planets and stars that's rotating it creates a solar system. Now in our solar system, Saturn and the moon was through from the same hand, through from a same rotation beginning. Mercury, Venus, and them wasn't included in this rotation pattern. Saturn and the moon got their own rotation. This is why it takes 28 to 30 years for Saturn to rotate and 28 to 30 days for the moon to rotate. But that initial rotation sequence is from the same hand. Now, the Saturn is the higher octave of it. It creates the time. The moon is the lower octave of it. It creates the actual manifestation of it, which comes from the illusion that the moon has. You know what I'm saying? Now, the moon is everything that comes up under reaction, which is your emotional state, your reactionary state, the way you feel about things, your most inner state. Not in all time frames of realities, because I lived in time frames and realities and spheres of realities where everything wasn't even created yet. Like Mercury wasn't here yet, the moon wasn't here yet, and then I was even in other solar systems, other galaxies. I was in other galaxies, other universes, all kind of shit. So it's like I can explain it to y'all a little bit, but not the way I really want to. But in the lamest terms, this is what I'm gonna say to y'all. The moon is like the reason because it did, like, the top part of the moon is the north node. The bottom part of the moon is the south node. It deals with the past, it deals with the past, the present. It deals with everything that's the illusion of time. Saturn deals with everything of the time. The moon deals with all the illusions of the time. So say Saturn is here, right? And the way it's rotating it deals with the time for our consciousness. The moon, since it's come from the same hand rotation, is the lower octave of the same energies. So when it's shooting down the time from Saturn, when it gets to the moon creates the illusion and the frequency waves of that energy. So the only way we can see time is because of the moon. Without the moon, we wouldn't be able to see time. We'd just be here living, and we won't see the fruits of our labor because it won't be nothing manifested from the illusion of it. So it'll just be like we standing still in time. But the moon creates the illusion of time flowing, which is the wave. Which is why the moon creates the tides and all that. See, look, the information you're going to get from me, you can't get this from astrologers you can't get this from nobody, because I'm the Archangel Uriel. It's like, it's certain aspects to things that's kept secret due to programs and ultra MK mind control programs and all kind of other shit that's on this earth, and other beings that's taking this shit and just hiding it from us. And if you ain't a person from the source, you're gonna need help. And even people from the source need help. I be needing help. Don't get me wrong, I be needing help, but the way I get help may be different from you. You know what I'm saying? I can get help by I might smoke some marijuana, go outside, do a 360, see where all the planets at, and communicate with birds and all this, and that be my help. That might sound weird to you, but that's just because we're in two different. I'm Archangel Uriel. The way I look at life ain't the same way you look at life. And the way you may be looking at life sometimes may be caused because of the illusions. And the illusions that this 3D realm and beings who know how to because you got a lot of beings here that's like me, more powerful than me, and they know how to utilize these things and to make you think otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Don't think for 1 second that these networks and people who's behind funding networks is not into this shit. Don't think not 1 second they ain't, because they wouldn't have the power they had if they wasn't. This shit ain't by chance. This shit ain't by coincidence. This shit is real. You know it's by chance and you know it's by coincidence. You not knowing. And the coincidence and that by being chance is getting greater and greater and greater every generation. And we need to close that motherfucking gap. Now the moon deals with reactions. You gotta use your mind, you gotta use your actions and your reactions, which is your sun and your moon. Because if you're using too much of your sun without your moon, you're gonna be out here and your grandmother gonna be telling you you're acting without thinking. If you're out here using your moon without putting anything into action and you're just reacting to everything, then you're gonna have people come into your life and tell you, listen, man, you thinking too hard about the shit. Just do it. You thinking too hard, nigga. That's when it boils down to the lower scale of it. But the highest scales, you want to talk about shit, is like The moon is your most inner sense. And I'm going to go as far, look, your sun, moon, and rising is the most important, period. But out of those three, the moon is your absolutely most important. And here's why. You ever sat back and asked yourself, like, why I do that? Or why I didn't do that? I should do that next time. What the fuck is wrong with me? That's your moon. That's your moon talking to your sun, of understanding why you didn't act on something. Or your moon sign is talking to your sun sign. Like, this is, your moon is the only star / planet that's you. So when a person want to say, like, your moon sign is your soul, to a certain degree, but your soul is attached to the way your soul is attached to your mind, basically. So your mind is your soul in so many ways. It's like your mind, it's like your sun, moon, and rising, all that together is your soul, your spirit, your vitality, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, the Mother, the Son, and the Spirit. Your all these, the three eyes, all of them is a significant to your soul. All three of these make up your soul. The moon creates the illusion of your soul and the aspects of your spirit as your inner state. The sun shows the vitality of your soul and spirit as people can see it, because you're showing, you putting light on it, so people can see your spirit and soul. And your personality is the way your spirit and soul is expressed. You know what I'm saying? And then your moon is your spirit and soul seat. It's the seat it sits in, because your moon sign is the mind. You know what I'm saying? So your moon sign is definitely the most important out of these, because it's not another planet or star that can ask questions. Your moon is gonna ask your Mercury, why I didn't think about it why I didn't think about it like that. You didn't put the puzzle, intellectually put it together right. You know what I'm saying? Your moon is gonna ask your rising sign, like, why do I act that way? Why do people see me this way? Why is people looking at me this way and I'm not this way? Your moon is asking your person. In love, you're gonna be like, damn, why this person don't love me? Or why do I love this person so much? Your moon is asking your Venus. Your moon is you. Basically, your sun, moon, and rising is you, but out of the you on a smaller scale, your moon is you. Your moon is who you are. Your sun, the sun is gonna help you act on who you are. Your rising is gonna help you personalize who you are. But who you are is who you are in your mind. You might go outside and might not want to show everybody who you are. You might just want to show them your attitude. You might just want to show them your personality. But when you think it to yourself, you like, yeah, because I ain't want this person to really see that side of me or whatever like that. You didn't want that person to see your you in here, the mind, your third eye, your moon sign. Moon signs is the most important, and sidereal and Vedic Eastern astrology understands that. You know what I'm saying? Western, they slightly understand that, but they like to incorporate the sun and the rising also. And those are very, believe me, they're not far away, but the moon that's where it's at, and that's how you're gonna learn how to detach illusions. That's how you're gonna learn how to detach from feelings and emotions. Like fear. Your moon is the only way you're gonna help that. You can be a freaking Scorpio sun sign, Aries sun sign. You can be a freaking Taurus sun sign. You can be a freaking Leo sun sign. You could have all the goddamn courage in the world, but if your moon sign fucked up, you're not gonna be able to act on that. You could be Aries, Scorpio, sun sign, Taurus sun sign, all you want, and attack whoever you want. If your moon sign is fucked up, then your interstate being is not going to be able to follow through with that. Because if you have a passive moon sign that's going against these aggressive ass sun signs, you're going to create an illusion in your brain that doesn't allow you to accept these qualities. Unless you really understand your moon sign, you could be any moon sign and learn how to exert it. But you have to know yourself first. Because if you don't know yourself, you're going to have a lot of feelings that's going to square you off, oppose you off, quincunx you off to the point you know you should do something, but you're not going to do it because your inner state incomplete. You know what I'm saying? But once your inner state complete, you're going to know how to eradicate fear. You're going to know how to eradicate all that shit. Get that shit the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? For real. You got to deal with the moon. The moon deals with your inside. And in the most simplest terms, the moon is the yin and the sun is the yang, and you need both of these to be harmonious. So if you have a square or opposition and your sun and moon is not harmonious, it's going to play out in your life, but you can always make yourself harmonious. If you know yourself, you're going to know where you're not harmonious at. So in them areas you're not harmonious here at, all you got to do is switch it. So you're always going to have that square feeling of, damn, I'm not harmonious here. But if you know that now and learned about yourself in your natal chart and got consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously aware, which is sun, moon, and rising also, you know what I'm saying? Your consciousness is the sun, your subconsciousness is the moon, and your unconsciousness is your rising. They are everything 3, 3, 3, 3. We can get to the Holy Trinity, all that. I could get in deep, believe me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to incorporate this, and you need both of those. And if you have a disingenuous and an unharmonious aspect with your sun and moon, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually learn that, and then work on that every day in life. So when you know it's coming up, you know how to deflect it, and then in time you become better than people who are harmonious. Like, your squares might be way better than a nigga trine. Or a nigga sextile in his chart. You know what I'm saying? Because you already up on it. So, you know, that's a little aspects of the moon. You know what I'm saying? In a yin aspect, the moon, that's your awareness state. You know what I'm saying? So, that's your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? That's the yin aspect of you. You know what I'm saying? And your sun is your yang. Your moon is your yin. Your moon is your, flight boss, bitch. I done said it all. Not gonna say it again. You know what I'm saying? People got any questions to answer to ask me, leave it on the comic box or go through my email, and then we're gonna do it on a flight luggage, which drops every Monday. First one gonna drop Friday. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. Yeah.